I think internet governance is something which is, it can't be ignored. I think our life has moved online. We need to engage with the idea that many people are simply online in their lives. They're living full lives. They're talking to each other. They're communicating. We can't ignore that fact, and we have to make sure that as it grows, with new services, with the economy drive, with a lot of influence of actors outside of Europe as well as in Europe, we have to make sure we're a part of that. The Council of Europe perspective is quite clear. We have to make sure that the freedoms, the rights that we grew up with over the last 60 years, since the Second World War, are important and relevant for the online world. I would point out that the internet is a tool, it's a freedom, it's an opportunity. It's something which we shouldn't look at as being a dangerous place, something which is scary. We have to embrace it as a tool for freedom of expression and very much for democracy. So social networks, the way that we are talking online, the way that we are chatting, sharing photographs is very big in Europe. I mean, there are approximately 42 million users of social networks in Europe, and I think that's a big topic. An emerging topic, a second one, would be the way that states are, if you like, regulating internet for themselves in their own context. And I'm talking about the cross-border fact. If a state has an impact or cuts or interferes with access in its own country, that can also have a bearing on another country. So the cross-border effects of one country's actions on another neighbouring state is something which is evolving. National spaces for dialogue on internet governance, they're very much needed because, I mean, you know, Europe is a space of 47 states for the Council of Europe. There's linguistic diversity, there's cultural diversity, that's the tapestry, that's the makeup of Europe. We have to reflect that in this global dialogue. I think they have to realise that it's a space for, it's a microphone to the world, it's a microphone to your neighbour, it's a microphone to your region, your locality, it's a microphone for them on a national context, a European context, a global context. I think it's a microphone for groups who are not necessarily that represented in society, and I think it's a fantastic tool for democracy. If you take the example of Twitter and the way that that's making democracy work in countries, it's a good example of the fact that, you know, we can make changes. We don't need to be apathetic when it comes to democracy and when it comes to talking to other people, maybe people in authority.